Well, the Yankees dropped it 7-5. But the silver lining, if there's any silver lining, is that Boston lost and Toronto lost. So that's it. That's it. So I expect some roster shakeups to happen soon. Maybe before guys come back from rehab and so on and so forth. So, and shout out to everybody in the chat, by the way. Jonathan's in the building. Palvis. Ken, what do you know, my man? Why didn't Boone pinch it for a scar? Don't know. Pinch hit who? But yeah, congratulations to Yorba Vivas for his first major league hit. 2-run single to get him closer to 7-5. So box scores really quickly. Okay. Pitching wise, Will Warren, excuse me. 4 2/3, 7 hits, 5 runs, but only 3 of them were earned. 102 pitches, 5.65 ERAs. He got the loss. He's 1-2. He still needs to continue to develop. Tyler Matzik came in an inning in the third, 4 hits, but didn't give up any runs. 1 strikeout and 32 pitches. Carlos Carrasco kind of held him at bay. 3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 runs, and 3 strikeouts. So, and that was it for the pitching. Offensively, Trent Grisham was 2 for 4, batting .296. Judge 1 for 5. He's batting .423. Cody Bellinger 1 for 4 with 2 ribbies with a 2-run home run. He's at the Mendoza line again. So thankfully for that, he's the only one who hit the home run today. Paul Goldschmidt was 1 for 3. He's batting .349. Jason Dominguez 1 for 3. Key hit. JC Scar over 3. Pablo Reyes for 2. Yorba Vivas was 1 for 2. Oswaldo Cabrera 0 for 3. We need him to kind of pick it up a little bit. Ben Rice didn't get a chance. Austin Wells didn't get a chance. And Oswald Peraza was 1 for 3. And that's pretty much it. It looks like it almost looks like the Yankees are slowly trying to figure out a way to phase out Jason Dominguez, right? So, and I put this out earlier on X. And of course, I got attacked by some clueless people, but to not be afraid to send down Jason Dominguez, let him work on his hitting from the righty side, let him work on his defense, and you bring in somebody like Everson Pereira, who's red hot right now, who's also a righty bat, who they're looking for and they need, right? DJ comes back, yeah, he'll be a righty bat, okay? And they'll probably DFA Reyes for DJ. And then when Stanton comes back, they'll probably wind up DFAing JC Escara and keep Ben Rice as maybe the backup catcher or something like that when Giancarlo Stanton comes back. So they'll have more righty bats. But in the meantime, it might be worth considering. You know, hell's not going to freeze over, okay, if they send down Dominguez to work on some things. So, but that's just my take on it. So, but the Tampa Bay Rays did take the series 2-1. So, and it is what it is. And I do think Carrasco winds up. They'll move on from Carrasco. I think once we get clarification on either Luis Hill, once he's ready to come back, or once we're getting a little bit more solid performance from Clark Schmidt, making it easier to DFA him for a guy like Alan Winans, to DFA Carrasco for a guy like Alan Winans, or something like that. So, but we need to see a little bit more from Clark Schmidt. So, and then thankfully, you know, Anthony Volpe, his MRI was clean and his X-rays were clean. So, but he did feel a little soreness and stiffness in his left shoulder today. So they kept him out as a precaution. I'm not surprised. I'd rather didn't do that for a couple of days and have him go on the IL. So, but like right now, Dominguez, he's hitting decent from the lefty side. He's hitting dreadful from the righty side. And his bat and his glove in the outfield is very suspect. Very suspect right now. And again, it would be good to have him go down for a little while, play regularly, and work on these things before he comes back up again. It's not like you're going to send him down to have him sit. Or you can bring the guy Brian De La Cruz, who they just got the other day from on waivers from the Braves. He's a righty bat, so there's that as well. So we got to figure out what to do here. But there's certain roster maneuvers that they can make, and I know that would probably be an unpopular one, especially for the Dominguez fans. But the fact of the matter is, the performance is not matching the hype, and it's not his fault that fans and beat writers are hyping this guy through the roof. Have been doing it for a long time. It's not his fault. So you just got to give him time. Okay. But here's the pitching matchups for the series against the San Diego Padres, which are up next. So Nick Pivetta versus Carlos Rodon tomorrow. Michael King versus Clark Schmidt on Tuesday. And then Dylan Cease versus Max Fried on Wednesday. So pretty good matchups here against the Padres. Pretty good. So, but yeah, I do think Pablo Reyes will get moved on from. I think once DJ returns, if he returns. So, well, and again, this is why I keep saying, don't sleep on the Rays, don't sleep on the Orioles. They're not scrubs. Don't sleep on any team in the AL East. People can say the National League is so much better than the American League. Nobody cares. It's May. Nobody cares. Okay. No, it doesn't really make a difference right now. So, and the offense has been inconsistent. Yeah, I'm glad that Cody Bellinger came through with a home run today. I'm glad he's over the Mendoza line. We need him to pick up the bat. We need him to be more offensively consistent. Right? His glove on the money, as advertised. Gold glove, baby. So, well, which starting pitcher? I'm saying, Emmanuel. What starting pitcher is the question? And they are quietly looking, but they're not going to sell. They're not going to make any big moves probably until July. They're not in panic mode at all. The front office, they're not in panic mode. So, and why would they be in May? That doesn't matter. You're seeing they're better than people think they are, and they do have starting pitching. They might not have big names. They don't need big names. They need performance, right? So, and their pitching clearly did the job. I would call Winans over Schlittler right now. Yeah, he's closer. His stats are better over Schlittler right now. Yeah, I know Schlittler's very, he's highly touted. I get it, but Winans is closer. Yeah, Freddie, it's going to cost more than Dominguez for Freddie Peralta. Well, we don't know who's available. That's the question, Susan. Like, let's talk about Sandy Alcantara. Let's talk about Pablo Lopez. Let's talk about a couple other, like Eric Fetty from the Cardinals. But I mean, who would you give up for them, and do they really represent an upgrade? Is the question. Raise them in for the bullpen, maybe, but you also have like Johnny the Wise Guy coming back. We have Jake Cousins coming back. I would actually hate to be Aaron Boone making the calls on who to send down for these relievers that come back, or even Luis Hill. But I would love to be a fly on the wall listening in. That's for darn sure, right? So yeah, we're in a rough patch right now. Yeah, hopefully we'll play well against the Padres. Man, the Padres are damn good. Padres are a good ass team. Yeah, I'll just play it day by day with Volpe. So Fetty and Arenado, that could be a thing. That could be a thing. Yeah, and Cease hasn't been doing great. He's got a big arm, but he hasn't really been performing that well. Neither has Sandy Alcantara from the Marlins. But people, the beat writers are saying, oh, it's going to cost you Lombard and Spencer Jones. Like, what planet are you living on? You give both of them for Sandy Alcantara. What planet are we living on here? Oh. And the Red Sox lost, and they just lost a big player, Tristan Casas, for the entire year with, I think, a ruptured patella tendon in the knee. He's done for the year. That's a big loss for the Red Sox. I mean, thank the heavens they signed Alex Bregman. Well, that's exactly, Ken. Alcantara is not I don't know why so many folks keep talking about him. It's just because a couple of people on Twitter are talking about him, and then nobody's doing any fact checking at all. Like, it's, what are we doing here, guys? They're looking. They're looking at Big Buddy. They're looking for a third baseman, but the question is, what's the price? Like, I would love it if the Rockies just put Ryan McMahon up for sale, but he's not going to be cheap either. Uh, Imanaga hamstring. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. What would you have done differently, you Elvis, today? What would you have done differently? Just out of curiosity. I mean, we need our offense to be more consistent. That's for sure. No, we did not know. We did not nosedive without Soto. They're still in first place, Yankees. And I pulled up I showed them, pulled up the rankings yesterday on the top offensive performing teams. The Yankees are either first or second in all of Major League Baseball. Home runs, runs scored, OPS. Slugging, on base percentage. The only where they're not first is stolen bases. They're ranked 19th. They're either ranked first or second in all of baseball in every offensive category that matters. Coconuts. And what would that have done if Rice hit into the double play? Then people would still be blaming Boone, right? And this is what we're dealing with, right? What rookie manager mistake, you Elvis? What rookie manager? What rookie mistake? I think Peraza is probably going to be one of the players that the Yankees move on from at the deadline. I do think that. The Uber driver, yeah. Let's show the man some respect, man. Come on, let's not do that here. Let's not be like other channels, really. Yeah, Warren. He got off to a good start, but kind of fell off. We need more length from Warren. We need to give him a lead. Yo, NFB. What's good, brother? We need to give Will Warren a lead. He tends to be a little bit better when the Yankees have a lead. And a couple of run lead. So, I mean, I think that would be a good gesture from the offense. No. He brought in Jazz Chisholm last year, you seen. And he brought in a couple of relievers. They went to the World Series. The year before that, he was overruled by Hal Steinbrenner. Hal Steinbrenner didn't let him make any moves. No. I make this clear. I prefer Spencer Jones over Jason Dominguez. I like Dominguez. I just like Jones more. But Jones also needs to have some time in AAA. You can't just send him up from AA here. You can't do that. We got to see what he can do in AAA. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, Warren needs to keep working on putting hitters away. That's a good point, Ken. Yep, it's true. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a rookie pitcher, man. Yep. Spencer Jones on IL. I haven't heard that yet. Consigliere, there he is, the Prime Minister. That's good, my friend. Let's see. Did something happen to Spencer Jones today? I was hearing something earlier. Oh, I haven't heard anything on. German Marquez. I think honestly, I think he would have been a fit a couple of years ago for the Yankees. But let's see him now. When he's 30 years old, he's 0-5 with a 9.82 ERA. Probably not. But then again, Matt Blake has a tendency to make pitchers better. So I can't tell. You heard IL for Spencer Jones? Where are you hearing that from, Menifee? I'm not seeing it anywhere. It is a long season, and the Rays do play us hard. 100%. Yes, they do. All I know is they took Spencer Jones out of the game earlier today. So, no, he's not ready for the majors. I can't tell. Yeah, you can't find out what happened. Well, how do you know he's in the IL, Ken? I would pass on Luis Castillo in all honesty. He's way too expensive. Yeah, we're still not getting any clarity, Jonathan, or anything. We're not getting clarity as to why Jones was scratched. Uh-huh. He hit his ninth home run yesterday, too. He's leading the league. So it would be nice if he got promoted to AAA, but I don't know. But I'm not hearing anything about injury. And LeMahieu might give them a little bit better production from the right-handed side and offensively, Brian. So you could be, I mean, and he's playing fairly well in his rehab right now. But we need to see him continue to produce, just like when Stanton starts to come back. We need to see them. And I'll say this again, right? They just because they're on an expensive contract and veteran players, DJ and Stanton, does not mean that they should be up here in place of somebody who's performing if they're not performing themselves. So, where's the report from who, Ken? I just heard from chatter on Discord. Where's this report at, Ken? Please tell me and I'll find it. I have somebody looking in the back end for me, too. That's associated with the Yankees, too. To get some clarity on this as well. But like I said, the Yankees are going to pay Stanton's contract regardless. Just like DJ's, it's guaranteed. Every team has to pay their players a contract. So if they're not going to perform, I'd rather keep them down there and play players who will perform because you're going to pay their contract anyway. Instead of bringing them up here, not getting performance from them, and sitting guys who were performing, and you're still eating the contract for less performance. That's the way I look at it, but that's just me. I like the players, but I say this a lot. I like the team better. But that doesn't mean I hope, I do hope that those guys perform when they do come back up. We need it. DJ, I mean, I don't know. My guess is it'll be 4 to 6 weeks, I'm guessing. Something like that. When they think he's ready, they'll call up. He's in the rehab, so. But I don't know if you guys agree with me, but that's the way I look at it. Like I said, I like Stanton. I like DJ. I want them, I like for them to be performing here. But if they're not performing, I'd rather sit them and play in favor of players who will, even if we're paying their contract regardless, because they are, right? So, yeah, Luis Castillo several years ago would have been a nice fit. And the Yankees actually had an opportunity to trade Gleyber Torres straight up for Luis Castillo, and they turned the Reds down. That would have been a good trade. That would have been a good trade. But yep. But that's pretty. Let's go across the board. Hornet, same baseball. So I was looking at some stats here. By the way, go Knicks. I think they start tomorrow against the Celtics. The Diamondbacks are up 11-8 in the 10th inning on the Phillies. The Giants are up 5-1 to the Rockies. The Tigers are up 5-0 on the Angels. The Reds and Nationals are tied in the 4th inning at 1. The White Sox are up 5-4 on the Astros, but that game is delayed now. The Mets play the Cardinals at 6:15. The Dodgers play the Braves at 7:10. The Rangers beat the Mariners 8-1. The Brewers beat the Cubs 4-0. The A's beat the Marlins 3-2. The Guardians beat the Blue Jays 5-4. So the Royals beat the Orioles 11. So the Orioles, Red Sox, and the Blue Jays all lost. The only team that won is the freaking Rays. So the Twins beat the Red Sox 5-4. The Rays, Yankees 7-5. The Padres beat the Pirates 4-0. And the Cardinals beat the Mets 6-5. And that's kind of around the horn. So who do I see being traded then? Like probably Fetty, probably Arenado, probably Pablo Lopez. I think a bunch of other guys that we're not even thinking of right now. Yeah, the A's are actually playing decent. Spencer Jones is in Somerset Patriots. He's in Double A. Fox Sports in is not. See, that's something. Something's not off. Something's off there, Ken. Why did the report be put out and then taken back? Are people jumping the gun on stuff? Right. Looks like it may have happened, but once we get clarity, once we get some confirmation on whatever the hell the reporting is on Spencer Jones, I'll get it out to you. Just make sure that your notifications are turned on if you're subscribed here. So I'm also hearing that people are getting my notifications late too. Like I put out a video and they'll get the notifications 10 hours later the next day. So I'm looking into that on the back end to make sure that that's not happening. So my apologies on that. It could be a notifications issue too with YouTube. No. And that's a good question, Wink. I don't know. It's a good question. Maybe you're. I don't know, Wink. That's a good question. Problem is, we just don't know who's going to be available yet. So, but you're right. They do pick some unlikely players like Pudge, Ichiro True, and Jerry Hairston, right? So, and they wound up being, quality pieces for the Yankees. Gotta ask Boone. Bryson Beeps out of the lineup. I mean, Vivas played a couple consecutive games. They wanted to give him a breather, okay, and give Peraza a chance to play. That makes sense. Rice, he's also been playing a lot of games too, so you got to give other guys a chance to play. So, but I mean, had they been in the lineup since the beginning of the game, it doesn't guarantee they would have won either. And I guess that's the risk that they take, right, all the time. And it becomes a hypothetical. What if? And we don't know. We don't know. So it's doesn't make too much sense to beat ourselves up over it either. We just don't know. They could have done all the things that people are suggesting and then can still have lost. And then what happens then? We just pivot to other reasons to blame Boone and Cashman? Is that what we do? Far too many people doing that on Twitter. But it is what it is. Screw. Okay, whatever you say, Bill. Yeah, it was get him some innings. It was his throw day anyway for Carrasco. You see, he's not pitching in the lineup in the next 3 games, so he's getting in there for a couple innings on his regular throw day. So I'm fine with that, and he saved some of the relievers. So yeah, I'm okay with that, Yassine. Same to you, Kenneth, man. Appreciate you. Scratch due to a stiff neck. Okay. Susan, are you talking about Spencer Jones? Thank you for that info. Get some clarity on that. But again, it's not really. I mean, if he doesn't go on IL, it's not really news anyway. So, but stiff necks happen. I mean, like Volpe's going to be day to day right now. So because his MRI came out clean, his X-ray came out clean. So, and if he misses a couple games, not really news. If he goes on IL, that's news, right? Oh. Well, exactly, Ken. These things don't get identified until trade. That's why the Yankees are not in panic mode now. A lot of fans are, but Yankees are not. I'm going with the Warriors, Yassine. I'm going with the Warriors to win. That's what they got Butler there, so I'm going with the Warriors. But would I be surprised if the Rockets won? No. But you got so many people saying, "What? I mean, does this destroy Curry's legacy if he lets um, the Rockies win the series?" I'm like, why are you putting it all on him? What about his team? If the Rockies win, it's his team, not only him. It's everybody that let the Rockets win. Not why are we blaming Stephen Curry here? I don't understand that. There he is, Demon D. The OG's in the building. What's good, baby? I think Pereira could be called up soon. He's red hot with the bat and he hits righty. So, but again, you know, Warren did have 8 Ks, 5 runs. 3 of them were earned, not 5. So, and we matched a 5. We just gave up those extra 2 runs, unfortunately. But he still has some developing to do, right? He still has some developing to do. I mean, well, cards. I mean, the Warriors. The Warriors. They're putting all this onus on Stephen Curry. The team could blow a 3-1 lead, but they're putting it all on Curry. Why? I don't know. Small ball, yes, Bill. They need to do more small ball. Fire the coach and exactly Ken. Talking, get that wisdom into people's brains, but get it in there. Yeah, Brian. I'm fine with leading off Goldschmidt. I'm also fine with leading off Austin Wells. So the D-bag, they were just tied 8-8 about 10 minutes ago. So yeah. Yep. I'm some people do, some people I don't care. I mean, Marcel, what if he pinch hit and then he got out, grounded at the same double play? Then what happens then? Right? It's all good, Billo. You got to get your rants in, bro. Got to get it in, man. Can't blame fans for being frustrated, man. Can't do it. It's just if it's fair. Gotta be. This place needs to be therapeutic and zen too. I'm not gonna block people for being frustrated and having an opinion. Paranormal, what's up, man? It is the ugly truth, Ken. You know that, man. Yeah, damn right, man. Yeah. Well, that's Yassine. The Warriors should try to get Giannis for next year, man. Well, neither is the Dodgers, Michael. Dodgers aren't a championship team either. Mm-hmm. But a big man definitely helps, Yassine. It definitely helps. Mm-hmm. They need Shaq up in there, man. Shaq would. Oh my God. Shaq in his prime was unstoppable force. Do I see? I don't know, in all honesty, because I don't think he's a free agent yet, right? Giannis, so they have to trade for him. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Exactly, below. I mean, the Spurs. Well, now that Victor won, but whatever his last name is, he has a heart condition or something like that, right? So that hurts. So the Spurs getting Giannis, that would be a good fit. The Dodgers aren't a championship team, Michael. You could say they're much better. If they were much better, they'd be in first place. They're not. Yankees are. Probably. They could stretch Yarborough out, take Carrasco, or they can call up somebody like Winans. So, yeah, blood clot in the shoulder. Yeah, that sucks. You got to get your laughing in, Bill. Let's go. Let's go, baby. And I'll wrap this up in a minute too. I'm gonna get up and hang out with the girls. The Yankees will get better. I mean, the Yankees have a lot of reinforcements coming. So, a lot of reinforcements coming. We're not operating at full strength right now. So, mhm. But tomorrow's another day. Yeah, we do have a tough series against the Padres. Then we get the A's. We get the Mets coming up. So, the May is not going to be an easy month for the Yankees. We just need the Yankees to get better. We need to be consistent, and hopefully they'll get out of this month in one piece. So, but it is what it is. I have faith in this team, and again, I'm just keeping in mind that it's May, not September. So, oh, of course, cars exactly. They need guys to get healthy, and they'll bring in some reinforcements too. Coconuts, 100%. Yeah, weather depending, maybe the weather tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, more reinforcements in the bullpen will be fantastic. And dang, thank you for the super chat, my man. Happy May the 4th, too, man. Much needed win for the 90. Yeah, big win against the Phillies, man. Yeah. Well, remember, dang, it's still May, so we don't know who's the World Series contender yet because the Dodgers don't look like one either. People are handing them the World Championship already, handing them the back-to-back, and they don't look like the World Championship contender. I think the original Star Wars you've seen, or Empire Strikes Back. Yeah. Yeah. Boone is telling me, no, I don't think so, Kenneth, but you can say it all you want. Just because I don't spend my time bashing Boone. So, because it doesn't bring any value at all. And in my eyes, he's not blameless, Tennessee. You're not speaking for me, Kenneth. And I do hold Boone to account here. Okay. But I don't spend my time trashing him like other channels do, who don't offer any solutions whatsoever, anytime ever. But the fact of the matter is, if the hitters aren't doing their job, that's not Boone's fault. If the pitchers aren't doing their job, that's not Boone's fault. Okay. That's a fact that I think it's important to own, right? Does he make the best decisions all the time? No. Is he the worst manager? No. But are the Yankees in first place? Yes. And I've said this repeatedly and recently too. The Yankees are. This is probably the unsexiest first place team around, but they're leading in almost every offensive metric out there. They are. So situationally, they can improve. Yeah, sure. But again, there's no guarantee that the moves that Boone didn't make today, had he made them, would have been successful. No guarantee at all. We're just leaving it up to speculation and our opinions. And that's why I don't base stuff on opinions. I don't base stuff on talking points. But again, that's just me. I can't speak for everybody else. I don't speak for all the fans. So I always appreciate the insight from people who come here. And it's okay to be critical. That's fine. I mean, the Padres are a tough offense, so we'll see. I don't know. I don't know. I just hope Rodon holds form with Pivetta, so because Pivetta's pitching pretty well. But may the Schwartz be with all of you too. Just keep that in mind, gang. Okay, not may the Schwartz be with you, but it's important to, you know, let's take all the facts here. They did sweep the Pirates. That's going to be on some. That's somebody will be on the hitting coach. Yeah. Situational is, yeah, and again, you have to have the players that take advantage of situational hitting. But yeah. Oh, exactly, Ken. Exactly. We keep composure. We just keep home. We stay in reality, the lane of reality. Don't deal in talking points. I don't deal in propaganda. This is not Yankees Digest. It's not some of these other channels claim to be real talkers and All they do is trash people. Yeah, but that's other folks. Maybe call up Schlittler, and again, that might happen. They could DFA Cookie and call up Schlittler. They could call up Alan Winans. They could extend Ryan Yarbrough, keep pushing, keep stretching them. So there's a couple options there. But I do think I don't think Cookie's going to last beyond Luis Hill when he comes back. Oh, exactly, Ken. There's no perfect managers. None of them out there. None of them. But we are dealing with a hornet's nest here. Fans and reporters and everybody else too. So exactly, cards, fire, Boone, cash, and hell. DF everybody. But that's the type of stuff we're dealing with on a regular basis. So and it is what it is, right? And but then we know this. It comes in the territory. Well, exactly, Willow. Exactly. X. Yes, please, yes. Yeah, dude, I can't wait for Cole to come back with Freed. I'm hoping that Rodon is bringing it, and I'm hoping Hill's healthy and Schmidt's healthy. And if they bring in another pitcher, like you could have all the makings of a magical rotation. They really could, but we'll see. Go enjoy the rest of your Sunday, everybody. Okay, and happy Cinco de Mayo early in advance because tomorrow's Cinco de Mayo. And to the moms, happy early Mother's Day to you too. May you have a wonderful day, but hopefully I'll see you before that. We'll be live pretty much every day during the week, but I'll be wishing happy Mother's Day a couple times this week because moms deserve to be given love. So much love to all of you. Peace and love, gang. You are the best. Appreciate the super chat. Hit the likes on the way out. Over and out.